Hello guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. We are going to be reviewing the Lizzie Mcguire collection from Colourpop Cosmetics. I'm super excited for this collection because I did grow up watching Lizzie Mcguire, and although I don't really remember what happened on this show, I do remember the theme song word for word, I remember the characters, and I remember drawing out the cartoon version of Lizzie a lot when I was younger. Just seeing this collection does bring back a lot of memories. I do want to note that this was sent to me in PR, but this video isn't sponsored from Colourpop. I just wanted to throw that disclaimer out before we got started. But yeah, I'm excited for this collection. I came ready. I did the most with my look today. I have my little flower hair clips which match so well with the collection, I feel. And then I put in these little hair streaks, hair extensions. They're just from the dollar store. You can tell they look so fake and shiny, but you know, back then this was the hair to have. And then I also got this cute little flower beaded bracelet as well. I think that goes in with the collection. And then I'm wearing this really cute top, but you guys can't even see it, but it's really cute. So yeah, I guess with that being said, if you guys just want to hear my thoughts on the collection, I will have timestamps for you guys as always. Let's just go ahead and dive into the review. So the collection is not too big, but let's start off with the eyeshadow palette first because I feel like this is always the most exciting thing of every collection. So the palette is called What Dreams Are Made Of, and it does come with a mirror inside in their 12 pan format. I think when you look at this color story, it can be a little bit intimidating, but if you look at it column by column, there's actually little trios of color stories. So if you look at the first row, we have the greens, then the corals, then the pinks, and then the purples. And with this, I feel like it's a very easy, colorful palette to approach. There's just a lot of different color combos and color stories you can mix and match with. For example, my eye look today, I don't think I've ever done a green and pink color combo. So with this palette, I'm glad that I was able to do this because I had a lot of fun creating my looks with this palette. I will say the shades you probably could get from palettes individually, but as a whole, collectively, as a green, coral, pink, and purple palette, I don't think we've really seen a palette like this from Colourpop, which does add some uniqueness to it. And I actually recently just filmed a video talking about my favorite spring palettes, and if I had this palette for a little bit longer, I definitely would have added this one into that video because this is just spring vibes, honestly. Next up are the two press blushes, and when I saw these two blushes, I noticed that there was a lot more glitter in these blushes as usual. So they do have a satin sheen formulation that has sort of like a satin finish, and sometimes they do have a bit of glitter in it. But when I saw these two blushes, I was like, okay, there is a lot of glitter in these blushes. So the one I'm wearing right now is called Magnifico. This one is my favorite out of the two. I actually really like the color if it just didn't have those glitters. The glitters are so strong in this blush, like it literally just looks like I have fallout from my eyeshadow. That's just how intense it is. Like if they could just take that out or just make it like a satin finish, then I would be happy. I would really like this shade, but the glitters are just too much for me and I'm not really a fan of that. I mean, a time and place really, but just not something I could really recommend. The shade Delish, this looks really ashy on me. It looks gray on my skin tone. I don't know if it's like the glitters that have to do something with it as well. This one has a lot of glitters in it too. Just not a big fan. And usually with Colourpop, there's never a product that where I'm like, no, like don't get it, because I feel like everything works great. It's just like personal preference. But for me, these blushes, they just have too much glitter in them, and this shade specifically just made my cheek look really gray and it was not a good look. So I guess maybe if you're a bit fairer, then this could work, but if you're anything like me from a light to medium, then it's going to look a little bit ashy, and I think it's because of the glitters, I don't know, and when it clashes with my bronzer it just didn't look good. The darker one I could do, but this one I'm just like no. So I don't know, I might give it to like my niece, or my friend was actually interested in this collection, so I don't know if she will enjoy this blush. I might just pass it on to her because I don't know, I'm not a big fan of the blushes, but if you wanted to get one I would say get the shade You Are Magnifico, because at least the base color is pretty and it doesn't look ashy on me. But yeah, I would probably skip out on the blushes in this collection. And next up we have their So Juicy glosses. I actually haven't used their So Juicy glosses in a really long time, and they actually have amped up the formulation, kinda. I'll explain why. But first off, let's start off with my first impressions on these glosses. When you look at the tube, there are some chunky glitters in here. This is what we wanted as a kid, but in 2021, you know? So when I saw the glitters, I already kind of knew I wasn't going to like it, but surprisingly, when I apply it, like, you don't really see those glitters at all. It really is just a very juicy gloss. Like, you can see it a little bit, but it's not as intense as it is in the tube. I think it's definitely wearable. And these So Juicy glosses are really nice. If you want your lips to look voluptuous and kissable, then the So Juicy glosses are for you. I'm not really a big fan of this tube packaging. I think back in the day it was nice. For lip balm it's okay, but for gloss I'm not really the biggest fan. But if you do love a really juicy gloss, you would really like these. These are their plumping glosses, so they do have that minty feel to them. I don't really know if it does plump up the lips. It's not overpowering, but it's definitely very cooling. And then also what I noticed with this is that they did change the applicator. It feels like there's a bit of curve to the applicator where it just applies a little bit better. I feel like the old glosses, they were much flatter. I don't know, but these ones do have a special scent. I think it might be just special to this collection. I don't know if it's applied to all of their So Juicy glosses, but it does smell like bubblegum and it smells so good. And actually I kind of like these glosses. Like, I haven't used these So Juicy glosses in a while, so I was just like reminded of how just plump your lips will look with these glosses. I wouldn't go out of my way to highly recommend them, but they're good. And I was surprised because my expectations were so low for this. But yeah, I do like them, and I think the shades, although the shades you're not going to really see too much, I think it's really pretty. And then also in the collection they came out with 2 pressed glitters in the pots. I did not use these 2, but I will swatch them for you. I might just pass these ones on as well. These just look very chunky, and if I'm going to play with glitter I would prefer something that's a little bit more on the small to medium size of glitter. These ones just look so thick, and I didn't really see myself using these within my 3 looks. So yeah, I will just swatch them for you so you guys can see what they look like, but not really too interested in these at all, really. They also came out with a lippy scrub. It's in the scent shade Bubblegum Pop, and it smells so good. It smells like the glosses, but when it comes to lip care, if something is scented that is just going to irritate my lips, like with glosses and stuff, I'm okay with. Nothing will irritate me, but when it comes to like lip scrubs, lip balms, lip mask, if they are scented, my lips will have a breakout, and I don't want to go through that because my lips are so sensitive, and when they do go through an irritation, it's literally one of the worst feelings ever. So I don't even want to risk it. I'm gonna pass this one on to my friend. I think she actually would really like this. If you don't have sensitive lips, like, I feel like this is really great. Colourpop's lip scrubs, I do like them. I feel like they're not so aggressive. They just give like a gentle exfoliation. So I mean, I know not everybody has sensitive lips, so this one is cute. I would recommend this one if you don't have sensitive lips, but I can't say too much because I didn't get to try it. But yeah, that would be the last thing in this collection. So that was my breakdown on the Lizzie Mcguire collection with Colourpop Cosmetics. I think overall the collection is really cute, and everything really is on theme. There's a lot of glitter, which all makes sense. There's nothing in this collection that really stands out to me that I would be like, you must get, like you have to have this. But if you did want to pick up something from this collection, my favorite would have to be the eyeshadow palette, and that I guess depends on what you already have in your collection, but I think the color story is really nice. It's really fun. I really liked all the looks that came out of this palette, so I would recommend it, but I think I could have easily recreated all of those looks with palettes I already have in my collection. But then again, I do have a really big collection at that, but this would be probably my top pick out of the collection. The glosses are really nice as well. I really like the shade Ethan Craft, the red one. But yeah, don't get too put off by the chunky glitters because you don't really see those glitters at the end. But yeah, I mean, it's nice. It smells good as well. I guess those would be my top recommendations if you wanted to get something from this collection. However, nothing really stands out to me big time. So I guess with that being said, we can now just move into the 3 looks. So for the first look, I'm gonna start off with the shade and this is going to be my transition shadow. So I'm just going to work that straight into my crease using windshield wiping motions and just really building up this product. I'm gonna blend it up towards my brow bone, towards the outer corner. This is essentially just going to be the base color, so you want to get this well blended out. Just take your time with this blending. It is a really workable shadow. I had no issues with this. I will say there is a little bit of fallout with all of these shadows, but you can always just tap off your brush and you won't get any fallout. But I also take this onto my lower lash line as well. I'm just gonna sweep that from the outer corner right to the inner corner and making sure at the outer corner I am connecting the shadows. Next, I'm gonna go into the shade Digital Bean, and I'm gonna first focus this at the outer corners of my eyes, just using circular motions to really pack on the color. I'm also gonna bring that in towards the inner third of my eyes, and then I'll sort of sweep it into my crease, just almost all over. I was planning to do a halo eye, but I had a little bit of issues on my other eye. This purple shadow, Digital Bean, was a little bit patchy, so it ended up being just like a smoky eye technique rather than a halo eye. And I also take that onto my lower lash line. And then I'm gonna take the shade Hello Fabulous. I do focus this at the center of my eyes first, just because wherever you place your brush first, that's where the most pigmentation is going to go. So I just wanted the center of my eyes because that's where the light catches first. And then I kind of just sweep it all over my lid. I go up into my crease area, and then taking the shade Outfit Remember, I'm going to use this in my inner corners to highlight that area. This shadow is pretty intense. It's a really pretty sort of pink, a little bit of teal in there, duochrome flip. It's a really interesting, unique shade, so I'm just going to use that to highlight my inner corners. I do take a little bit in the inner third of my lower lash line as well. And then just taking my black liquid liner, I'm going to use this to align my lash line and also create a fairly dramatic wing. I also go in with the creme gel liner from Colourpop in the shade Piggybank. I'm going to use this to tightline my bottom waterline. This is the most perfect eyeliner and matches Digital Bean so well. And then I'm just going to pop on my false lashes. I am wearing the Boudoir Lights from House of Lashes. And then moving on to the cheeks, I'm going to be taking the pressed powder blush in the shade You Are Magnifico, and I'm just going to apply that to the apples of my cheeks. This blush does have a lot of glitter particles to it, so it does look like you have a bit of glitter fallout on your cheeks. For my lip pairing, I am going in with the So Juicy gloss. I'm going to be taking the shade Gordo. I am applying this on top of the Just a Tint lip crayon in the shade The Strand. It's been a while since I've played with purple shadow, I feel, so I really love how the final look turned out. Even though on one eye that I didn't film, I did experience a little bit of patchiness with the shade Digital Bean, the purple shadow. I think overall at the end the look does look fine, but I did have some issues with that shadow. However, with that being said, I still like the final outcome. I think it is super bright and just fun, and I think the pairing with the gloss and the blush pairs really well. So hopefully you guys like this first look. So now hopping into the second look, I'm gonna start off with the shade Done and Done, and I'm just gonna take this on a big fluffy blending brush and I'm just gonna sweep that straight into my crease using windshield wiping motions. This is going to be the transition and base color, so we just want to blow this out all over our lids up into our crease. I do take that out towards my outer corners as well, just really blowing the shadow out. I'm also gonna take that onto my lower lash line as well, just sweeping that from left to right, making sure I am connecting the shadows at the outer point, but I am really just blowing out this shadow on my lower lash line as well. Next, I'm going to take the shade So Mature and I'm going to start deepening out my outer corners with this shade. So this shade is not too much darker than the previous shade, but it is just going to help add a little bit more dimension to the eye look, and it's also a brighter coral shade, so I think it really does pair well with the transition shadow. So I'm just going to be using circular motions at my outer corners just to really diffuse that into the base slash transition color. I do take this shadow onto my lower lash line as well, but only at the outer corner, and as you can see I'm just using stamping motions. I will say that this shadow does have a lot of kickback, but you don't really get any fallout on the face, which is good. So now taking the shade Outie, I'm going to place this at the inner third of my lid space. I'm going to bring that past my crease and almost towards my brow bone. I want this to be blown out, I want this to be diffused, so I'm just really using a light hand, using circular motions to have that soft blended look. I do take this also into my inner corners as well, just to highlight that area. But I am going to go ahead and take the shade Please, and this is the press glitter. This glitter has very micro glitters, and I feel like just placing this on top very lightly of Outie, it just enhances those little glitters a little bit more. When you turn your head around, the glitters will flip and sparkle, so I think this is a really nice pairing it together. The glitter is not too intense and overpowering. I'm now gonna go ahead and do my liner, so I'm just gonna be creating sort of a baby wing, and then I'm just going to take some black eyeshadow just to help smudge and sharpen up the wing. For my bottom waterline, I'm gonna be taking the Honeydew Creme Gel Liner from Colourpop. This is just going to help open up the eyes. Then popping on my lashes, I'm wearing Muse from Petite Cosmetics. And then onto the cheeks, I'm taking the pressed powder blush from the collection in the shade Delish, and I'm gonna apply that to the apples of my cheeks and blend that back into my bronzer. Don't think this shade is super flattering against my skin tone. In some areas it looks very gray. And then for my lips, I'm taking the So Juicy gloss in the shade Ethan Craft, and I'm gonna apply that on top of my lip color, which is the e.l.f. Cosmetics Seriously Satin lipstick in the shade Nectar. And this, you guys, is the second look completed. We definitely stuck to the peachy side of the palette for this look, and I really like it. I think this is a really nice light to medium springtime look. It's definitely a look that I would wear off camera, so I really like how the final look turned out, and I hope you guys like it too. Alright you guys, so we're now onto the final look. I'm gonna start off with the shade Outfit Repeater, and I'm gonna start packing this on only at the outer third of my eyes. So I'm gonna pack on the color just to build up the shade, and then I will start blending that out towards the outer corners and towards my brow bone, just using circular motions to get this blended. It's a really easy shade to pack on and blend, but you just want to take your time to get this blended out. I do take that onto my lower lash line as well, just only at the outer third, and at the corners you can see I am connecting these shadows. Then I'm going to go into the shade Don't Freak, and I'm going to place this at the inner third of my lid space. Once again, just really packing on the color there, and then I'll slowly start blending that up towards my crease, towards my brow bone. I take a little bit of this into my inner corners as well, and towards the pink, towards the middle of our lid, you just want to go back and forth with your brushes to get these two shadows blended into each other. And then I'm going to take the shade Dear Diary, and I'm pretty much just going to place that right on top top of Don't Freak, the lime green. And I'm going to be using this dry because I want it to be very diffused. So just taking that all over my lid into my crease area. I will use circular motions to get that diffused look, but I'm going to take that into my inner corners as well to highlight that area. And then I'm going to take the shade Bye-Bye and I'm going to use this to highlight the inner third of my lower lash line. I think it adds a little bit more dimension to the look. I'm now going to go in with my black liquid liner. I'm just going to create a soft wing, and then I'll just go in with my black eyeshadow as always, just to smudge and extend that wing out. Now I'm just going to pop on my false lashes. I am wearing Honey from Boutique Cosmetics. And then onto the cheeks, I'm going to be taking the pressed powder blush and You Are Magnifico. I think out of the two, this one definitely would have to be my favorite. And then for my lip pairing, I'm just going to take the So Juicy Gloss in the shade Miranda, and I'm just going to place that right on top of the lip color that I have on, which is the e.l.f. Cosmetics Seriously Satin Lipstick in the shade Taffy. So this is the final look completed. Definitely the most fun look out of the three, and I think this look really screams Lizzie Mcguire with the pink and the green. I don't know. I'm getting those vibes. I got the hair clips in, my random little streak of extensions that look super fake. But I really like this look. I don't think I've ever done a green and pink color combo like ever, which is odd because it's such a pretty color combo. I'm obsessed with it. So I'm glad that I was able to create this with this palette, and I hope you guys enjoyed the final look. And that, you guys, was my three looks. As always, I would love to know which look out of the three was your favorite. I think the third look for me would have to be my favorite, the one I'm currently wearing, just because it is a color story that I haven't done before, and it is the most fun out of the three, I feel. But I would love to know your thoughts down below. I would also love to know what you guys think on this collection as well. Did you guys watch Lizzie Mcguire growing up? I would just love to chat with you because that's literally my favorite thing to do after every upload. So I'll see you guys in the comments. But if you guys did enjoy this video, if you found it helpful, it would help me out so much if you could just give the video a little thumbs up, a little like. But thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!